Boo-boo. Let's skate on over to Traverse City football. Star Ty Decker, the senior defensive back, was accepted by the Air Force Academy this week, and Ty could play for the Falcons in Colorado, but he is also considering Northern Michigan University. Right now, Decker is giving himself 2 weeks to make up his mind, and where's he leaning toward today?
I'm kind of leaning towards the Air Force Academy right now just because, I mean, as far as education, that's about the best you can get. I want to study engineering and aeronautical engineering. That's what better place than the Air Force Academy. So, and also eventually I want to be a pilot.
And we will let you know where Ty lands as soon as he decides. Well, Mike Henneman has decided the 29-year-old right-hander will pitch for the Detroit Tigers for another year. The Tigers signed Mike to a one-year contract. Our stay-in-school jam on the Northern Michigan side of things. Greg Molson is going to tell us, or at least look into the question, do student athletes get preferential treatment?
High school athletes clearly receive support and applause for their athletic accomplishments. But do they also receive special treatment in the classroom? Don Miller says the well-publicized problems seen in college athletics are not really found at the high school level.
I think those are the myths that happened in the old college days, maybe the old high school days. We bend over backwards at Glen Lake to make sure that that doesn't happen to our athletes.
Marnie Poplinski is a three-sport star at Glen Lake, and she agrees that athletes do not receive any preferential treatment from their teachers.
They use you for examples a lot, but as far as cutting slack, I don't think they do that. They just treat you normal like everybody else.
Some athletes say they are even held to higher standards in the classroom, but they admit they are treated special by other students and in the community.
Yeah. Little kids are always coming up to you, oh, hi, Marty, yeah, I saw you on TV, or saw you in the paper, or watched you play last night, and it just makes you feel good, and you're like, oh, you know, this is neat, I got little kids looking up to me, and people look at you different, I think.
I think it's tougher to be an athlete, but that's part of the good training. Preferential, I would say, almost in reverse, except where they do get the attention on game night.
Welcome back to the NBA All-Star Stay-in-School Jam. As I promised you, we talked to some local athletes, student athletes that are a part of this discussion. And in the sports panel today joins me Ty Decker, who is from Traverse City High School, Amy Portenga, who is also from Traverse City High School, and a basketball player from Traverse City St. Francis, Derek Bailey. Hi. How y'all doing? Hi. Let's talk about, first of all, I'm gonna get into a little bit of the maybe darker side. Do you guys get preferential treatment when you start out compared to maybe someone who is a non-student athlete?
I don't think we do. I mean, as far as not real obvious, maybe there's some points that aren't really seen, but as far as like a disadvantage, maybe it's a little distraction on certain days.
I don't think we get special treatment, but just from the sports that I'm in, I miss a lot of school. And so I always have to go up, and ask my teachers, about things that I've missed and, tests or homework. And so I get to know my teachers a lot better than I think some of the other students do.
That's an interesting point. What about you, Derek?
I don't see it as where there is preference for a student athlete. I do know, though, is that there is a game day that's with it in a smaller school. It's more known, and teachers sometimes tend to maybe make tests the day after, so we don't have to worry about studying that night of the game. And that's where I see maybe the most influence of where it's shown.
Okay, well, this is a stay-in-school special. Now, let's talk about how sports affects each of you. Has sports enhanced, I guess, the high school situation for all of you?
I'd say I love sports, and that's what makes so much more fun. Like, I actually do better as far as grades. I do better during the football season than off.
Really?
Yeah, it just helps me budget my time, and I don't have as much free time.
Okay. Amy, now I know that you play all 3 seasons, so you are a very busy individual, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, I feel the same way as Ty. I actually do a lot better, when I have a lot of things going on, because when I don't have a lot of free time, I have to make sure I use my time that I do have wisely, and get my work done right away. I can't, let it go for a while because, I don't have a lot of free time. And, that really helps me, use my time wisely.
Okay.
after school work.
Derek, is being involved in sports, I guess, work on the time management for you too?
Yeah, it does. I know that when basketball season does come around, that I have to set time out. There's time for practice, and then there's time for studying, which is done as soon as I get home. And it probably does, like they've said, manage it a little bit better, because you know that you have to achieve good grades to be able to stay in the sport and stay eligible. Where when you're not in the sport, you might tend to put the homework aside, and you have a lot of free time, where here you know you don't have the free time to do certain things.
All right. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of the NBC special here. And we'll be right back with the national side of things. You stay here.